Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review of another Dolph Lundgren film, and this time it is The Russian Specialist. Now, this is known in other places as The Mechanik, with a K at the end. But I don't know, for some reason they decided to call it The Russian Specialist. Whatever. But this is the second film Dolph Lundgren got to direct after The Defender, and this is a pretty good one. I would still say I like The Defender and Command performance more, but this really shows Dolph Lundgren wasn't a one-trick pony in directing. The Defender was really solid, and this was a nice follow-up. It's a straightforward film, revenge story. Dolph Lundgren playing a Russian again, a retired Russian Special Forces soldier. He just wants to lead a quiet life. He has a wife, he has a kid, he's just a regular mechanic. The movie sets it up where this drug deal goes wrong, and his wife and kid die in the crossfire. And there's some nice bits of direction with how he stages certain sequences, certain shots, which I'll get to when I get to the end, one of my favorite shots. But it shows he's a very capable director. That's why I wish Dolph Lundgren would direct more. Like maybe some of these films like Shark Lake and fucking Dead Trigger and all this stuff would be a lot better if Dolph actually directed the fucking movies. But it's many years later. Oh yeah, before that, when his family dies, he does get revenge because he throws a Molotov cocktail, shoots these guys, shoots the bad guy in the face, leaves him for dead, thinks he's dead. Many years later, he's a mechanic in America, in LA. This rich lady comes by, wants Dolph to take this job to get her daughter. Her daughter's been kidnapped, and the daughter's in Russia. She's going to be sold into like a sex slave operation. And Dolph doesn't want to do it at first. He doesn't want to get involved, but he finds out that the person who took her is the same man who killed his family years and years ago. That he has a scar on his face, but he's not dead, so Dolph takes the mission. So he goes over to Russia, meets Ben Cross, good actor. He was in a film called The Unholy. He's been in other films. I think he's most famous for Chariots of Fire. Very solid actor. He does a good job. Plays a character who is not annoying. He's not irritating. He's not just a comic relief or anything of that sort. He's a guy who gets Dolph the supplies he needs, equipment, helps him out a bit, has a natural presence to him, plays off Dolph just fine. It's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not awkward. Quite the opposite. Feels natural. And again, there's some nice directing choices. Like when Dolph goes into Russia, he goes back and he's in a vehicle. And he just has this sort of daymare where he's driving and he looks over and he sees his dead son riding a bicycle next to him. And the sort of like horrified look on Dolph's face. Like moments like that are nice little touches. Or at the end when he kills the bad guy in this body of water, or this puddle of water. And there's a point of view from inside the puddle of water to Dolph's face, and you see the blood sort of flowing and around the water as the camera's looking through the water to Dolph's face. Little touches like that were really nice. And it's not too long of a film. It's what, 93 minutes, give or take. Not too long at all. The action scenes are competent. Uh, Dolph will, break arms. There's a moment later on where he's at Ben Cross's apartment and there's bad guys there and Dolph stabs one in the stomach, or he slits a throat and arterial spray hits the wall. That's one thing when Dolph directed, he wasn't afraid of the violence and he used practical effects, so I give credit to that. Missionary Man, as much as I don't like it, there's a couple of decent gore bits, like he kills one guy, shoot him in the face with a shotgun. I'm not a fan of Missionary Man, but there's that. Current performance, he fucking stabs someone with these like drumsticks through the guy's fucking chin, which I'll get to. And watch the hair, dude. I love Command performance. Can't wait to get to that, but I mean, there's some nice bloody moments and blood squibs, like in the finale when he has a shotgun, you get some shotgun fun. But it's very straightforward. This thing happens. Him and Ben Cross get on this motorcycle, little chase through Russia. Some nice usage of the Russian locations. It didn't look cheap. It looked like they really did shoot there, not just someone's fucking backyard like some of these direct-to-video films. And they save the girl. They get out. They're traveling to get the fuck out of Dodge. And I will say one problem I have with the film is even though it's 90 some minutes, the pacing kind of drags from when they save the girl to when the final showdown happens. Because now a whole lot happens. It's mainly they're in a van, it breaks down, Dolph uses stockings to fix it. It breaks down again, Dolph fixes it again. The girl, she's a bit out of it, but she starts to trust these people and realize these people are trying to help her. They go to this village, see this doctor, because one of the group had a leg that was shot. Dinner with the Dot's family, where they sing this Russian song, and shows, they're having a decent time. And it's not bad, it's not horrible, it's not awful or anything. It's just a tad unexciting. I probably maybe would appreciate like a little bit more action, perhaps a little bit more action in that gap, or in the movie entirely. I mean, that's the thing. I would have preferred a bit more action. I'll say that. But me, I'm always hungry for action. But I would say that area is, I would say, the least interesting part of the film. But again, it's not awful or anything. And then it gets to the showdown where they're in this village and Dolph, Ben Cross, this other guy take on the bad guys, and that's pretty entertaining. Uh, the bad guy shows they're evil sons of bitches because they have this other hooker who was friendly with Ben Cross, and Ben Cross wants to reach her, but Dolph's like, no, stop, she's already dead. And of course, they do shoot her in the middle of the street. Practical blood squibs. Makes you feel bad, makes you hate the villain, makes you feel bad for Ben Cross. He gives a really good performance in that scene. This woman that he obviously loved is dead now. And he's really nice emotional performance. And then he's like, what are we going to do now? And Dolph goes, what's the plan? That's the line. What's the plan? And Dolph goes, kill them all. Which is like, yeah. And at the end, Dolph did some nice bloody shotgun fun, practical blood squibs. He fucks the bad guy up, shoots him in the leg. The guy's pulling back into this puddle of water. And nice looking shot where his body's on land, but his face is in the puddle of water. Dolph puts the gun down, this gun, and just fires. And this like big explosion of bloody water erupts. Which is like, ooh, yeah, fuck. Like satisfying because you hate the villain, but also just how grisly and bloody it is. Really satisfying. And the movie, again, it's pretty straightforward, which I appreciate. It didn't try to have too many useless subplots upon subplots. And Dolph Lundgren, he did a good job directing the flick. He, even though I have a problem with that section of the film, I can't say it was a boring film. It was still pretty decently paced compared to other movies later in his career, like Forgotten or Ambushed or Shark Lake or fucking Altitude or something. And overall, this is a pretty solid direct-to-video film. I didn't you watch this, the Defender and Command performance, it just makes you go, Dolph, just direct your own movies. Because most of these guys seem like they don't know what the fuck they can do with you. So, again, if you like Dolph, but you're like, ah, it's direct-to-video. The Defender's good. Command Performance is good. I'll get to that. And this is pretty damn good, too. It's a good triple feature. The Defender, Russian Specialist, and Command Performance. So I definitely recommend it for fans of Dolph. So thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later in the next video. Bye-bye.